and he slaps me one more time. Hard. And I'm all of a sudden realizing that the worst thing has just happened to me. I wish so much he had said he was joking. That's what broke my heart, because I didn't believe him.
El juicio de Johnny Depp y Amber Heard cada vez se acerca más a su final. Ahora le tocó el turno a la actriz demandada dar su testimonio sobre el tormento que habría vivido durante su relación con su ex esposo. Durante su estadía en el tribunal, Amber Heard relató un tóxico episodio vivido con Johnny Depp en el que, según ella, el actor le habría puesto la mano encima.
It didn't physically hurt me. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet, wondering how I wound up on this carpet and why I never noticed that the carpet was so filthy before, and I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react. I just sat there thinking, how much time do I have till I figure out what I need to do? Because God, did he just hit me?
Además de que Amber habló sobre lo mal que la pasó en su matrimonio con Johnny, también se refirió a él como el amor de su vida, pero también como el monstruo que le dio malos tratos y que en reiteradas ocasiones le juró de rodillas que no lo volvería a hacer.
I was so in love with this person. I felt like he recognized me and I recognized him, and there was just something. That was the love of my life. He was also this other thing. And that other thing was awful. And he's crying. Tears, just falling out of his eyes. He gets down on his knees and he grabs my hands and he's touching my hands and he's saying to me, I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, baby.
Y mientras la actriz relataba lo que vivió y su percepción sobre Johnny, el recordado Jack Sparrow tuvo una reacción que llamó la atención de la audiencia.
His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me. He would pass out in his own sick. And then he'd walk around saying, my soulmate, as cheesy as that sounds, I just felt like he knew me.
Así es. Johnny Depp no pudo contener soltar risas al escuchar el dramático testimonio de su exesposa frente al tribunal. Y aunque Amber Heard lloró e hizo lo posible para convencer a los presentes del calvario que Johnny Depp le hizo vivir, en un audio previo a la declaración de la actriz se oye como ella misma admite haber iniciado una de las frecuentes peleas entre la pareja.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights have been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you have a close
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you? Did you start?
You are such a baby. Grow up,
Did you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had
Because
to get out of there.
yes.
Sin embargo, lo que ha dejado en shock a muchos es el testimonio de la psicóloga de Amber Heard, quien justificó que la actriz le haya tirado múltiples objetos a Johnny en la cabeza, alegando que Amber lo hizo como respuesta al maltrato de Johnny.
That throwing a can of mineral spirits at your spouse is characteristic of reactive violence.
If you are running away from your spouse who is trying to hurt you, yes.
All right, so you can throw a can of mineral spirits. What about if you throw a can of Red Bull?
Again, it depends on the incident I think that you're referring to. That was not necessarily reactive violence. That was in a state of frustration or anger.
All right, so when you throw a can of Red Bull in a state of frustration or anger, that's not reactive.
No.
All right.
Por otro lado, ¿recuerdan el testimonio de Depp sobre cuando Amber Heard le dejó materia fecal sobre su cama días después de que tuvieran una fuerte discusión?
I received some news that was as absurd and grotesque, cruel, and then I was shown a picture, a photograph of the bed, our bed. My side of the bed was human fecal matter. I mean, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre.
Resulta que uno de los guardaespaldas de Johnny también declaró sobre el desafortunado episodio en el que Amber le dejó esa sorpresita al actor antes de que ella partiera al festival de Coachella, acción que según el guardaespaldas, la actriz escribió como una broma que salió mal.
Conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
And what did Ms. Heard say about the defecation in Mr. Depp's bed?
A horrible practical joke gone wrong.
La confirmación de este episodio ocasionó que Amber Heard se ganara las reprimendas de los fans en los exteriores de la corte, quienes a gritos le cuestionaron a la actriz el por qué hizo algo tan grotesco. Una luz de esperanza se presenta para el actor, y es que ante el pedido de los abogados de Amber Heard de desestimar este caso en su contra, la jueza del tribunal rechazó rotundamente esta proposición, alegando que la evidencia revisada resulta favorable para Depp hasta el momento.
For this motion, I've taken the arguments of counsel, and last night I reviewed all of the evidence that has been submitted in this matter. So as to the second and third alleged defamatory statements, at the motion to strike at this juncture, I view the evidence in light most favorable to the plaintiff and reasonable inferences from the evidence to the plaintiff. And if there is a scintilla of evidence that a reasonable juror could weigh, then the matter survives a motion to strike. In this matter, there is evidence in the case that a jury could weigh that the statements were made by the defendant, that the statements were about the plaintiff, that the statement was published, that the statement is false, and the defendant made the statement knowing it to be false, or the defendant made it so recklessly as to amount to a willful disregard for the truth.
Si quieren mantenerse al tanto de los episodios más importantes en este tenso juicio, no olviden suscribirse a nuestro canal de YouTube y activar la campanita de notificaciones para que no te pierdas nada.